Hey everybody, as you may or may not know, I've been planning a winter battle series alongside Cooper and Kamon. The whole plan all along since maybe September, October was that we each breed a new team, which for Cooper he's never done, not a full team. Kamon has never posted battles, and I myself have never bred on 4th gen. So something new for all of us. We were all super excited for it. 1 minute. And there we go. So we've all been really excited for it. Unfortunately, Kamon had he started having some technical issues, so he kind of cut himself, but we were very reluctant to do so. So anyway, it's Cooper and I doing the series ourselves, and eventually we will have a series with all 3 Diamond brothers. The 3 of us battling alongside going for the crown. This will be my team reveal video. Won't be anything near as good as Cooper's was. But yeah, I actually had the team reveal video recorded a couple weeks ago, but it sucked, and I'm kind of glad that I forgot to record with audio, because now I get a chance to do it better. So I think I'll jump right in. I'm gonna cut to just a shot of loose leaf paper, and I'll be drawing out the team like as I made it, basically.
Alright, so here's my whiteboard. I believe the first book I added to the team, hold on one sec. First book I knew I wanted to use was a Dragon Dance Teacup, which, if you know me well, you know is bizarre because I never use guitar. So let me do that. My first thought was bulky. I just wanted to try it. So obviously what comes to mind first is Rock Slide EQ Fire Move. Deals with a lot of things in the metagame. But I wanted to try defensive so I could live like Sizer Bullet Punch. But then I realized it's a little too over specialized. He's going to be taking a lot more special hits than physical. So I'm gonna go with getting to 352 HP, which ends up being actually you got the notes I had well and made team. Alright, he ended up getting 30 HP IV. Let's see if I'm not confused. So I wanted to get 352 HP, just because it's a leftovers number. I want to give 60 special defense EVs, and I want to give I need Jolly, 248 speed to outspeed Starmie and Zelf after 1. It's going to need 48 HP because of the 30 ID, so whoa. I need 248 speed. By the way, I had already decided on leftovers. 60 special defense. Which ended up actually being key in a couple of matches. And I slapped the rest on into attack, which ended up being 152. Alright, the moves. DE, obviously. Rock Slide, the Stone Edge sucks. I wanted Crunch. Not for much of a reason, but I just figured it would be helpful. And the last move, this kind of happened after I developed the rest of my team. I realized I wanted to be able to set up on Skarn. I wanted to be able to do stuff to Wall with, namely Blissey, stuff with status. So my first thought was Sun, but then obviously Skarn can roll with me. So I landed on Taunt. And that ended up being amazing. I know it looks like I lack any sort of coverage beyond what Stone Edge and Crunch can get me, but oh my god, was it worth it. I faced a Rest Talk Zapdos, I faced stuff that tried to sleep me, I faced Skarmory, and those basically just turned into free Dragon Dances instead of a stock sweep. I saw right away my only attacks are Rock Slide and Crunch, so I would need to support myself with Steels. So let me add over here my weaknesses. Steel Coats. Not Scarf though. And obviously fighting type standout. That one I plugged that hole pretty quickly. Skarmory. Again, not mixing it up too much here. Just impish leftovers. That's kind of Skarm needs those. In fact, the whole thing's going to be very standard. To go max HP, keeps it between defense, 40. The moveset again, nothing special. Just the standard Skarn. It's been proven over 4 years. It works. There's a reason it works. It's one of the best defensive walls in the game. For a special wall, Gastron stands out immediately because it covers the people who beat Skarmory, namely Starmie, Zapdos, and Heatran. I know Zapdos and Heatran like to run HP grass, but Gastron can live it, and I can dance around Zapdos if it has HP grass. So I'm adding Gastron. She's too good. And I'm going to use the my buddy Kamon set. This one isn't standard, but it is to me, and it should be for everybody. Calm. Another tried and proven thing, Ice Beam Earth Power. Ice Ground attacking combo, always been very effective. That's the reason it's so popular. Toxic is a great move. Beats anything that Ice Beam and Earth Power don't. Zapdos, it's great for any grass types that switch in. It's great for Vaporeon. It's great for anything bulky enough to take these 2 hits. and recovers the last move. Nothing fancy there, just keep health high, and that's all. The next one, I wanted to find something to cover my grass weakness. A few things stood out. I believe I looked at Crobat, but then I saw sand. That's not going to be too healthy for Crobat, especially with hitting Brave Bird recoil. So I looked around, and I decided Roserade would be great. At first, I assumed I would run Toxic Spikes, and then I realized, well, there's already 4 moves I need to run. I need Leech Seed, just because it's a sand team. I need to get health back with everybody. I need Grass Knot, just any grass move ever is great. I need Sleep Powder, and I need Sludge Bomb, because I need a way to kill Grass Snake. I can't let Celebi switch in and dominate. Celebi usually dominates me at just everything. So I'm going to go Roserade. Just make sure it's not cut off. Yeah, it was a little cut off. Here we go. Alright. Roserade. I'm going to go Timid just because it needs to outspeed like base 80s, I believe the number was, as a lead. It needs to outspeed Keytrain, Galad. Gonna go Black Slug because I like a bulky Roserade. Another thing stolen from Kamon's book. The max HP for bulk. Gonna go 176 speed for to outspeed. That gets to 286 speed, and I believe, yeah, 80 special defense after that. Just, I didn't want to use that on physical ball because I'm not going to stay in most of the time for physical hits. So, I needed in special defense. That turned out to be great. Stuff like Zapdos, Suicune got completely beat. And mainly Suicune because nothing else on my team, and nothing else that will go on the team, is going to stop Suicune effectively. Gastron stops offensive sets. Roserade stops sleeping sets, resting sets. So, as I said, the moves were already decided upon. I'm actually just going to get rid of this part. It's going to be too hard to follow along with that. And, I look at the team, I realize I need a rapid spin. Fortress and Starmie are really the only 2 options I ever considered. I guess Donatan, but looking at who I have, he's not the best. I guess he could have worked, but I just think I don't think it would have been as effective as who I ended up picking, which is Starmie. Just because I didn't want to have to get myself in a position where I'm really weak in Keytrain. I'm going to go Timid, kind of just because I have to outspeed Gengar and Infernape. That's another huge reason I chose it is Infernape. I really had nothing else to completely counter it. I know most apes don't use her nowadays, but I've been fine with that. 200 special attack. Just because I want some offense. 200 speed. That's to outspeed Gengar spinning. And the rest is HP, which gets me a leftover number. That's how I settle on 200 special attack, is got me to 288 HP. Moveset Surf is a necessity. Recover is a necessity. Rapid Spin, as I said. And that was the last move. I look at my team, am I more Dragonite weak, am I more Gyarados weak? Because those are the 2 main things that Starmie's going to be needed for. I decided I need more for Gyarados, which is absolutely the right play. At this point, I am more weak to Gyarados. So I'm going to go with Evolve. Stormy's a decent counter to Gyarados, not the best in the world, but it'll take a +1 Earthquake or Stone Agent point. And the last card. Look at my team. I have 2 Fighting Resist in Starmie and Roserade. Neither of them are going to handle Champs particularly well. T-Char is extremely weak to fighting types. He's also weak to steel types. I have Gastrodon to cover stuff like Magnezone. It's Storm to cover Lucario. Storm covers Scizor. Gastrodon covers Heatran. So I defensively covered most of the steel types. And as I'm looking at the team, I consider 2 things. One is Hippodon. My thought there is that with T-Char's offensive. He's not going to be able to get stand up early enough, and that's going to be a hindrance. But it ended up that was a good way to think in theory, but that was not true at all. He usually switched in early to take a hit and then switched right out. I don't know why that happened, but it did. So I settled on Gliscor. I'm thinking Skarner's my main defensive ball. He only has like 331 HP since he has a 28 IV. So he's going to need some help. And that turned out to be very wise. And it turned out to be a great choice in Gliscor. He was the one I was most unsure about, but he ended up being extremely valuable. I'll just add really quick. I have 1 ice resist in Stun. Ice is just not common enough for me to worry about. Mamoswine's, I believe, the only OU ice type. I think. And Skarm walls Mamoswine for days. I'm really just not worried about ice types on Starmie. I'm just not. They're not threatening enough. Gastrodon walls most of the special attackers anyway. It has Sticky Hold if there's a Frostlass that wants to trick. Yeah. Oh, another thing that I love. Roserade Starmie, Natural Cure. I love having this. If I didn't want to run aromatherapy, I felt that this team worked out pretty nicely. And it ended up being smart to not run aromatherapy. So they were extremely valuable in absorbing sleep, absorbing toxic, and then getting right out of it. Again, nothing spectacular with Gliscor. That's Gliscor's highest HP number, their lucky number, 216 defense, is his highest magic number, and 40 special defense. Fill it out. ET and Roost are necessities. I don't have anybody else with Stealth Rock, so that goes there. And my last move. I have 1 toxic user on the team. I would like more. I have 1 ice move. So Ice Fang could be useful for Flygon Dragonite. But Gastrodon and Roserade are going to be my main switches for Mixed Knight. Skarm is obviously going to be the main Dragonite switch. I'm not thinking Ice Fang. I could go Stone Edge and get Flyers, but on a wall, not the best thing. T-Tar's my rock guy. So I'm gonna end up using Toxic, and that was the right choice for me. It ended up being just helpful enough, and I realized after I added him, I get to abuse and Bang. That was nice. It worked out a couple times. I don't think it was too key, but I do remember it working out a couple times. So, here's my team. Biggest weakness, Gyarados, because I have Starmie and Skarmory to stop it, but they can't do enough. Taunt is way too common, so I can't Whirlwind. I'm going to Brave Bird him, which does about 120 to 140 at plus minus 0. So that's without an Intimidate. That was just enough to 3-hit KO, and I believe I barely do not get 3-hit KO'd by Waterfall. I know you'll see in my battle verse, I Am the Tide, that was a great battle. Starmie does +1 EQ from Gyarados, so that's key. The one thing I did factor in there is Stealth Rock and stuff. She lives at full, but not at... But it still hurts. And that's really all I had for Gyarados. If he has Taunt, Gliscor literally can't touch Gyarados. Roserade maybe can live a Waterfall. Gastron's not going to do much, it's just going to be set up fire, and T-Car can't do anything unless it's +1. So Gyarados is going to be the biggest weakness. Dragonite's going to be another one, because Gastron can live Draco Meteor, but not the ensuing superpower. Roserade is another good Mix Knight counter, because it will take a Fire Blast or a Draco Meteor and then hopefully sleep it, potentially Leech Seed it, and I don't know, Sludge Bomb it if it's low enough. And that's really all I have for Mix Knight. I guess I can abuse Sandville for some 72% accuracy Draco Meteor, but it's really going to be these two switching in. I don't think I ended up seeing any Mix Knight with this team, so that was kind of a relief. I also wanted to see how I fared with this one. T-Tar. Defensively, he was very interesting. He was like a utility, one turn per game defensive coach. He would switch in, take a random hidden power ice or grass, and then switch right back out after getting stand up to let Gastron, Skarmory, and Gliscor abuse the heck out of Sand. These three are really the core of the Sand, or they're really the core defense actually. Gliscor and Skarm ended up just to be reinforcements for each other. You know, Lucario can wear one of them down. So I needed to be able to have a backup, and that was huge that I had that. I think Gliscor ended up setting a lot of games where Skarmory was huge. That's about it. I do have a bit of a Zapdos weakness. Gastron's my only thing to stop it, but Roserade can if need be. The special defense ball comes in handy there. Sludge Bomb can break subs. Sleep Powder, Leech Seed can kind of annoy Zapdos. T-Tar, with its extra special defense, can take some more of its hits, set up, Rock Slide, and the game. Taunt if it has Toxic. Don't want to get Toxic. And if it does have HP Grass, Gliscor is going to be the guy. Has Heat Wave, it's Gastrodon. If it has Toxic, it's Roserade. What are we considering? Gengar is an annoyance, but Gastron just sits in there and Ice Beams until it dies. Lead Crobat is annoying. I usually just switch to Skarm and build with Taunt, Brave Bird, and switch right back to Roserade. Starmie of itself is a weakness, except for Gastrodon. The T-Tar can live fairly convincingly, and then Crunch or Dragonite, and then Crunch. Geez, what else? Infernape is a weakness. Gliscor lives any Infernape hit, Gastron lives any Infernape hit, Starmie lives any Infernape hit. It's just a matter of him using it on a switch in. And that's what I was worried about. Starmie ended up being fine, even when HU turned, it did like 170 max, that's max attack life for it. Susami was really fine against his friendly. You know, I really thought this team worked out well. I was really happy how they performed. And I think the series ended up being successful for how it, from when the series actually started happening, I think it was successful. I was kind of worried about it not being after Kamon said he had to drop, but you know, we ended up being fine. So I think that's gonna do it for this Team Review video. Thanks for watching. It's definitely fun making it. I'll definitely do this if I do any series like these in the future. That's really gonna be all. Make her out. Enjoy the series, guys. It's really great.